Just be a case of, I don't know what you're doing. I have no idea where we are or what we're doing, but let's go this way.
Hello, hi, and welcome to today's episode of Let's Rant. With me, your host, the Cow, because I like to count.
And me, a number dyspraxic. Hooray!
Hooray! And what are we ranting over today, my dear friend?
We are playing Diablo 3.
And why is it?
Very, well, it's a game, it's fun, and I can fire explosive frogs at people. Eat my explosive frogs at door.
Good lord, I just realised how loud the sound is.
Wow, that was... I think... Yes, I'm matching your level, and therefore I died brutally.
Oh, I was just changing the sound. Ooh, run away! Everything's going wrong. So, bad timing to change the sound quality. That's very good. That's very my bad. Okay, so yes, today we are ranting over Diablo 3. Now, it's mostly because it's one of the last games we have left where we both have it in this multiplayer. Mostly.
Unless we all start playing StarCraft, which would be amazing, and we should do. My lord, that's a... You know, the problem is I've got a level 18 character with your level 60 character, and can you guess what's happening?
Ah, right. Well, you're going to get lots of cool stuff, though.
Possibly. I'm going to run away from yon evil beastie.
Where are you?
Ah, he's found me!
So, yeah, diving straight into it. So, yes, today my drink along rant will be, well, whenever I'm hungry, because my drink along rant is a bowl of ramen, which is my dinner tonight. You got any particular beverage that you're enjoying this fine evening?
I've got a glass of water.
How exciting. We are both pushing the boundaries on this clearly a school
Oh, we
night.
really are.
Ooh, toads. So actually I wanted to do a rant in this game because there's something in particular I want to talk about. It's some sort of mindset. But let's just quickly, as per usual, do a little chat about the game itself. This is Diablo 3. A long-awaited game after, of course, Diablo 2, which is ever so popular. It is a dungeon crawler game where the only thing which matters is numbers. It's almost like a game about maths.
It's a game about maths. Yes, it is.
Well, it's just, well, like most dungeon crawler games, it's, you know, this armor has more numbers than this number, and this number has more numbers than that number, and look at all these numbers. There's numbers here, and there's numbers there. Look, 20,000 numbers and more numbers. Yay for numbers. It's just, it's very number heavy.
I'm enjoying it so far. It's pretty good.
So how long have you played this game for?
How long have I played this game for? I got it when it came out.
Okay, like I did.
I liked the game. I hated the fact that you had to be online to play it because, you know, anger.
And
I
get that. I get that a lot.
But yeah, I didn't play it for very long. I think I maybe played it for a month or two, and things beginning to bug me. The fact that you could only get the best items by using the auction house. It smacked of trying to tie into World of Warcraft too much.
Yeah,
and I thought that was annoying.
It is a game which did lose sight of its roots a bit, I think. Not quite as badly as not as badly as Dungeon Keep, of course, which lost sight of its roots in the most epic way with its mobile game. But yeah, it did try to do, it did. Well, that's what I want to talk about, of course, is the auction house, because it's I bought this game. I mean, I really enjoyed Diablo 2, so I was going to buy this game anyway at some point. But and it does stick to its themes quite well in the sense of it's a dungeon crawler. It's had maps are randomly generated, although stick within the set sort of theme. There's sort of it's broken into chapters, and each chapter's in a different sort of location, and it's all very hellish, lots of monsters and so on and so forth. And it's all about just finding stuff. And so in that regard, it is very much like Diablo 2, but shinier. I would argue that its timing in the sense of its release was actually a bit bad in the sense of, I mean, it was only for me because I spent a lot of money on this game when it first came out. It was quite expensive. That was very expensive, and quite soon after that, the free game. Was it the you played it? It's on Steam. Oh,
Pillars of Eternity.
thank you, Pillars of Eternity. See,
There was a few different ones. I mean, there was Shadowrun, which came out for a while, which was, that was a very similar thing, though that was a bit more like Neverwinter Nights in the future. It's a pretty cool.
Yeah, I've got
way
that on
to
my
be.
phone actually. I'm dying quite badly.
I quite like Shadowrun.
You know what? I haven't. I think I would enjoy it if I got into it. I gave it the time because it reminds me of Cyberpunk.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few games similar to that which are very cyberpunky-esque. But I think that was one of the best ones which did the whole cyberpunk thing.
So yeah, it's so in that regard, it's a very good idea. So yeah, but the game is still, and even now, it's still really expensive. And I think it is, to be honest with you, a bit expensive for what it is.
Yeah, it's expensive for what it is. I mean,
the game didn't take me that long to complete.
I've not completed it.
I've actually completed it about 5 times. I've gone through each level of difficulty. I'd say I was able to solo it for the most part of like the first 4 times. And on the 5th run, like Nightmare mode, I had to play online with, I say friends. It was I played online with random strangers, but they were the only ones that meant I could continue.
I'm listening. I'm just selecting new skills.
New skills, you do that, because new skills are cool.
Yes, they are. And that's one of the fun things about these sort of games. You level up and you get skills and you get to put points in them. And then points mean prizes.
Points do mean prizes. Oh, good lord. In that regard, what's quite nice is even though it is a lot of the same thing as you see, smashing zombies, special zombies, you do get these sort of random ones which are like extra hard and they have like different skills. Like this one's using a lot of ice at the moment. And they leave the good stuff. But it is a game which knows its roots and knows its audience, and that is kleptomaniacs. Mass success kleptomaniacs. Because that's what all it is about. I want more stuff and more stuff, free stuff and more free stuff.
Yes, I see where you're going with that.
And
quite like that.
It does have a kind of. It's almost, I mean, to say, I completed the game numerous times over and over again, and the way I played it was to put on a decent podcast or even a video on my other screen and just plow through it. It's a game that actually requires very little attention span.
Yeah, I mean, it's point, click, kill, move.
Exactly.
Listen to some sort of cutscene, move on. And if you're into the story, good for you. If you're not, then, you don't have to pay attention to it.
If you're into the story, let me introduce you to the library, because I'm going to you'll probably find a better selection of stories there. I mean, the story is okay, but it's not, it's no Final Fantasy or anything like that. It's not, it's certainly not, so I won't hold it back.
I mean,
unless I was running out of ink.
Final Fantasy had some good stories. Hence the reason they're releasing Final Fantasy VII again.
Again. It's a good point and well argued. Oh, this one's immune and makes us stick to places. Oh dear.
Oh, I have died so many times.
Are you levelling up at all there? What level did you start at? You started at level 8, didn't you?
I started at 18. I started at, I'm now 19.
Oh, so at least you've leveled up. I'm actually going to die as well. Yeah, how embarrassing.
Try not to. I like that spinny power you have going on around you.
No, that's not my power. That's that's bad guy killing me.
Oh, it's a bad guy. Bad guy power.
Bad guy power. It's no nice.
How dare he?
How dare he? Ooh, look. Would you like this?
Ah, stuff.
Stuff.
Run away!
Run away! You pick up stuff. Oh, I haven't say. So actually, I'll give this game a little bit of credit. This game is a lot more fun playing with a friend than it has been at any other point of playing this game.
Oh, I wish I had equal level characters, because this is really annoying.
Sorry, dude.
Right.
It was more of a case of we tried this before and it didn't work very well with level 1 characters, so I think we sort of just dived in.
I think that was
stuff
probably
that
all my armour is now so broken that it has completely fallen off me.
Well, we can always go back to the shop and repair stuff.
Might have to in a minute. Which will, be a superb chance to show off one of the in-game mechanics. Armour breaking.
armor breaking. That was a good point. So let's talk a little bit more about the game rather than just slagging off immediately. There is, let's say, a lot of good elements to it. If you like dungeon crawls, if you like that kind of hack and slash and just sort of dive into it and get free stuff, and that's really cool. It has a nice mechanic in the sense of, like what's very popular, very common in a lot of games of this nature is a wear and tear mechanic. Your armor and weapons will wear and tear the more you use them, so you have to repair them. You have, when you get a bit later on, you can actually learn new recipes, as it were, and you can actually make
stuff. Which was one of the, they tried to incorporate the whole crafting element of World of Warcraft into this for
the only
their
downside
own sick
to
and twisted ends.
Well, exactly. The only downside to crafting weapons is the ones that you can find are always much better. For a lot less effort. You can raid a dungeon to get all the tools that you need to make a weapon. I've done some few times. Yes, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to get all this cool stuff. I'm going to make this shiny sort of shininess. Only to find the shinier sort of shininess of doom whilst on that raid. And I thought, I'm going to just do that.
The very best stuff, though, is usually made by other people somehow.
Yes.
And whether they spend thousands of Earth pounds on it, I'm not entirely certain.
And yeah, that's the thing. Is that with this, and that was the big thing about this game when it first came out, and and it was the reason why I bought this game. And that is, at first, the auction house was real money. You could either use in-game money, or you can actually use real money through eBay.
Which is true, and it's one thing I didn't like about it. I thought that was...
It's one thing I did like.
While it was a clever mechanic, I thought it would encourage people to bankrupt themselves too much. But
well,
I could
that's
see
down to them. That's their problem, not mine.
Yeah. Actually, but you could have made a lot. I imagine a lot of people did make a lot of money from farming endlessly and selling for real money on the auction house.
Well, it was always my plan to pay for this game through playing it. And I thought, wouldn't it be nice to buy a game and be able to... Because, I mean, I enjoy gaming, obviously. And I thought, well, if I'm going to play the game anyway, and I want to play the game, why don't I earn a bit of extra cash? If I can at least pay for the game, then it works as a free game, you know? Can't go wrong with that. And I played for a lot. As I said, I completed the game a number of times. And in that time frame, of all the farming and all the stuff that I did, I probably made about £4 on the real market.
Well, that's £4 better than nothing, so you got it slightly cheaper than you would have done.
Exactly, but that being said, it was a lot of hard work. I never spent a dime myself, I only spent in-game green gots, rather than, real munsies. But, yeah, I thought it was a good idea, and it was nice. I thought it's something that could... Which way do you want to go? Do you want to go north? South? Or do you want to go back to the shop and repair stuff?
Shall we go back to the shop and repair stuff?
Yeah, let's head south.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was a really good idea, and I think a different approach. You've got a lot of games out at the moment which are free to play, but if you really enjoy them, you can spend actually quite a bit of money on the game. Actually, a lot more than you would on a normal AAA game. Just throwing a few names out there: Clash of Clans, World of Warships, so on and so forth. So in a way, it was nice to see a game take a different approach in the sense of you actually buy the game outright properly. Did he just respawn and die immediately? You can buy the game outright.
Revive in town.
Yeah, you do that. I'm going to go down Army too.
Okay.
You could buy the game outright and everything, and if you make profit from the game, then you get to keep it all the better. And no one's forcing you to use it. You don't have to do anything.
I think it's a clever mechanic. I just think it was... I don't know. There's something about it I didn't like. I didn't like stuff.
You don't like stuff. It's
like
new, and I don't like new things.
How dare it be new?
It's just nice to have a different opinion for once. But yeah, I thought it was good. I mean, I always the bar to entry is very high. If you actually really wanted to make any real money in it, you'd have to literally play the game as if it was your living, like a lot of people do with some World of Warcraft, where they make characters so hard to such a high level they sell them off. But you have to play sort of 18 hours a day every day, and I cannot think of many bank managers that would give you a mortgage as that is your income.
No matter how many times you tell them it's worth it.
Yeah, and how many free characters you get in. Seriously, it's a level 80 warlock. Oh, come on, give me a house.
Yeah. This thing's so amazing.
But yeah, it doesn't really work.
But also, where's the fun in purchasing a character rather than making a character?
Oh yeah, I mean, there's something I love about, especially my character, Paragraph. I mean, she is mine. I created her. She's my baby. It's not my computer. I made my computer. It is my baby. When she's poorly, it breaks my heart.
Oh, the love of inanimate objects. There's an actually condition for that.
There is. I can't remember what it's called, but it would be an impressive word.
Yeah. Well, I got some cool stuff out of doing that, even though I was bitching about dying all the time.
I just realized I picked up some really cool stuff, which has to be level 60 to use any of it.
Level 60, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I mean, so they had the auction house, which we'll come on to talk about, which I personally think is a good idea. You think it's a shit idea? Well, you know, that just I would agree with you, but then we'd both be wrong. But they took it away, and then I started playing the game.
Oh, is it not in here anymore?
It's not here, though. Goes show how much research you did. Yes, I got a text from them. Not a text, an email from them, to say, many weeks, months ago, saying that you know this thing which you really enjoyed and why you played this game, we're not doing it anymore. Okay. And if you have anything in the auction house at the time, it will just go straight to your account.
Right. Okay. So that was a bit of a bitch.
Yeah. So at least it didn't just disappear into the ether. Ooh, rare star. Yeah, it wasn't of no help to man nor beast. I think I just got something which is actually better than I have at the moment. I might equip it. So yeah, I as I say, personally, really sort of disappointed by that. But clearly, you were completely unfazed by this.
Well, now it's gone. I'm angry.
Now it's going to I want it back. Damn you!
How dare they take something out of the game that they promised to keep in the game, and that was one of its major selling points. The fuckers. They put it in wrong, as far as I'm concerned. But now it's gone. I'm cross. Just because they put it in wrong doesn't mean they should take it out. It means they should fix it and make it good. And I'm not entirely certain how they would have done that because I'm not really sure why I'm angry at it. But
damn them all to hell. I mean, yeah, and that's a good point. I mean, there's one of the things I wanted to ask you is what is your view on that in the sense of inducing a game ever has the right to take away something which they put in it and was a reason, it was a unique selling point, a USP. It was a reason why people bought the game.
No, I mean, if it's one of the key aspects that was about the game. I mean, it'd be like taking Call of Duty and making it single player. It's just not.
That can only make it better, in my opinion. But yes,
yeah, but that's not why people play it. People play it because they're weird and psychotic, and they wish to go boom headshot every 5 seconds.
There is a great set special boom headshot every now and again.
Oh, is this? Oh, sorry. I thought it was Leroy Jenkins or another various meme.
By the power of Grayskull.
Now I like that one. Yeah, because I'm old.
Yes, unfortunately we get that reference. You'd be disappointed by the number of people I work with who haven't actually even seen some of the most fundamental, rudimental films such as Ghostbusters cartoons and stuff like that. It's disappointing. You all ready to get up?
Yeah, ready to go. Let's go.
Let's go and smack some bitch up. Actually, I need to change my skills. I've got some rubbish skills here. Grasp of the dead. 5 bats. Ooh, hungry bats. I'm gonna have hungry bats. Because they're like hungry hippos, I think. hungry hippos!
Bats. I'm gonna go for... Yeah, okay, let's go this way. Ooh, yeah. Stuff.
So yes, let's go and fight some more stuff. So yeah, I mean, so you... so do you have any other views or on this game? What's your... I mean, how much have you played the game? In some hours?
I played, what is it, 3 acts, isn't it? I played to about halfway through Act 2.
Okay, so a fair decent time.
We started fighting off all the demonic invasion-y bit in the castle. I think that's about halfway through Act 2, isn't it? Or was it?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Closer to the end. But yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah.
So what made you stop? But you got that far and then you stopped. So what made you stop playing?
I just got bored of the game. It just no longer interested me. I mean, I played Diablo 2 all the time because it was just kind of addictive for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not entirely certain what it was about it, but
Do you think the game itself is more addictive, or was it just that at that time in your life you're more susceptible to addictive games?
ah,
It's like the Spanish
no,
Inquisition now.
I would have played Diablo 2 over this, except I couldn't get my copy working.
I sold my copy to get this personally.
Yeah, so that was a pain. But yeah, I would have played Diablo 2 over this. I even tried to find a nice, cheap, free copy of Diablo 1 to play.
That's desperation.
Which would have, yeah.
I must admit, I did play it, but I didn't play much of it. I was really a Diablo 2 fanboy. But then again, we can't see eye to eye on which one's better, Dungeon Keeper 1 or 2 either. You're even more old school than
I like Dungeon Keeper 1. But
I
then
know,
I don't
but-
like change.
I.
No, there was it might have been that at the time my computer couldn't run Dungeon Keeper 2, and I got cross.
does happen with depressing regularity.
Hmm?
That does happen with depressing regularity.
Yeah.
It's
Just
not
like,
working. I'm cross
I
now.
can't play this game I want to play. I don't like it. It's crap.
That's pretty much why I spend a fortune on expensive graphics cards. Just because the pain and anguish of being poor is not as bad as the pain and anguish of having the game which I can't play. Which says a lot about me.
Says you enjoy good games.
I do enjoy good
I'm
games
dead.
and good times.
I was really hoping to get that purple axe as well. Purple, orange.
Which purple? It's orange.
That one over there. Wee, mine now.
So I can't see your stuff.
Oh, that's interesting. So we're getting separate spawns of
You
loot
are getting
spawns.
separate loot spawns, yeah. Because I'll be honest with you, I'm getting loads of stuff. I kind of felt bad that I was just sneaking all your shit, but you know. And I thought, well, what goes around comes around. Because every time we play some kind of strategic game, you always nick all the resource points. So. So yeah, but I think as I said, this game is actually quite hard to have a jolly good rant about this game because there's not really much to say about it. It had a big update not that long ago, but other than that, the community does seem relatively quiet, and I think it's gone a lot more quiet ever since they pissed about the auction house. I think it upset a lot of people, not just me.
I mean, they included the new add-on, haven't they? Which is what, Reaper of Souls.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've got that.
No, I've never been one for DLCs.
Sorry?
I've never been one for DLCs. If the game isn't complete, don't release it. It's always been my
I
view.
appreciate a DLC if it's actually like a standalone storyline that they've added on as an afterthought.
It's for me to justify DLC. Obviously, we've got to be one of the best games ever made ever, like XCOM, and it has to bring a lot more to the game rather than just a few extra maps.
Yeah, it's got to bring a whole new thing. Like Dawn of War and Winter Assault brought a whole new race, a whole new story, and a whole
Exactly.
new
It brought a whole
load
new
of
storyline.
mechanics. It changed the in-game mechanics as well.
Mm-hmm. So
And somehow they kept it compatible with the old game,
yeah,
which I thought was amazing. How do they do that?
exactly. So there you go, guys. Whoever make that up, by now T something something. That's how you do it properly, not the game we played last time. But yeah, I mean, that's so I'd give this game I'm going straight into a score now because I know we're actually quite limited to time for today, and I think we've already been recording for 20 minutes. I'd give this game probably a 7. It was I really enjoyed the game at the time. If they I must admit, I'm 7 edging sort of 6 actually. It was a clean out 7, but because I have less of a game now than I had then, I'd give it a 7 then actually, and I'll give it a 6 now.
Yeah, everyone's got like a tenth of their money back or something.
Yeah, because I mean this isn't the game I bought, so I'm not going to give this score I would have done when I bought it.
Quite frankly, I think we're acting like a bunch of grumpy old men at the moment.
We are, I know, this is fantastic. So the crap that working isn't nice to be an absolute arsehole. But yeah, no, it's their own fault. They brought it on themselves. They let themselves down, they've let the whole school down. If you
you let yourselves down, you let your mother down, you let Mr. McGregor down. I know he's a paedophile, but you let him down.
Exactly, and it's bad touch. And he knows all about bad touch. But it's if you, but no, I don't know why, but it's really, it kind to me it kind of feels like buying a car, and then like 8 months down the line,
taking a wheel off it.
yeah, but they just come and go, oh, we're just taking the air conditioning out, and they just like press a magic button, your air conditioning stuff working. Like, well, why'd you do that, you countryside?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn you, countryside.
Exactly. Oh, Clint
Oh,
Eastwood.
there's a thing to rant about. Why Americans say twat instead of twat.
That's because they can't pronounce aluminum.
They spell it the same. It's got an A in it.
Yeah, so... And how do you say grass?
For apple. Well, grass, to be honest. Because it's got a G-R-A-S in it. So you know, it's grass.
Rather than grass. So there's a part of me that kind of sees, but at the same time they're just wrong in every possible way. It's not aluminum, it's aluminium. We invented the language, it's just stick with it.
You know, I can forgive them aluminium. I was
Really?
thinking about it the other day, and I've decided I forgive the Americans for aluminium.
I love the fact that you sat down and you gave a real thought. You know what? Out of all the things which are going on in the world at the moment, terrorists, bombs, hunger, the whole migrant issue, the fact that the M20 is still closed for stack or whatever, you know what? I forgive aluminium.
I can forgive them aluminium.
I'll let them have that one.
Yeah.
After everything they've done, they deserve it.
After everything they've done, they deserve it.
There you go, guys. For all you American listeners out there, you can have aluminium. I mean aluminum, whatever you want to say.
Aluminum. It's all about.
You can call it shiny light metal for all I care. Yeah.
So that's all it is.
It just, you know what? To just be safe, you can call it tinfoil, even though it's not made of tin. Or or shiny light metal. You can go with that.
Yep. That stuff you can't sell at the scrapyard for money.
Hey? Oh, we could. We sell it scrapyard all the time.
Oh,
it's just the problem is you get bad rates for it because if you sell it per ton, it doesn't weigh much. Yeah, no. So there you go, boys and girls. If you're going to nick stuff, stick to copper.
Stick to copper wire and lead off roofs.
Well, yes, as oh, it's been such a long time since I've played Ratchet. It's Nanny Og's son. We'll tell you.
Oh yes.
So yeah, what's your score on this game?
I do enjoy the dungeon crawling. It's not my favourite dungeon crawling game, but
No.
I do enjoy the dungeon crawling. So I'm going to give it a 7.
Okay. I mean that's what I mean. I think it's perfectly as far as well. I was the Decapitator. You know, I think I enjoy a good dungeon crawler game. I think I'm starting to go off them. Once again, for the same reason I sort of went off RPGs a little bit, in the sense of they actually require more time than you think.
Oh, wait, they take more time than you have.
Or more time than I have, but more time than you think. You think, oh, it's just a dungeon crawler, how much time does it need? You know, and you can sort of just pick up and play. But actually, this is quite hard to pick up and play, because you always spawn, like, back at the town, and if you don't get to one of those teleport platforms, doobies, which is only once every 6 years, you know, you have a really hard time turning it off. It's like, I was spending like 4 hours getting here.
You do have the portal function, don't you? Town portal.
Yeah, but that doesn't that disappear if you turn off the game, though?
No, you teleport back to town, and then you can go back through it to where you were. Are you going to revise your score?
No, they still took away my money, so yeah, fuck it. I mean, to be honest, I didn't even use it that much. It was actually, for me, it was the excitement of using it, in the sense of, it was, the thing I enjoyed most about this game was getting something cool and shiny, go, ooh, that's shiny, I wonder how much it'll sell for, and then selling it, and then go, oh, someone's bidded on it, someone's bidding, bidding is happening now. It's like eBay,
you should get into just the global stock market. I think that would, if that's your... That's exciting for you.
It is exciting for you, but what makes it exciting is if I lose, it doesn't cost me minus.
I see.
See one problem? Where, yeah, I mean, the same, it's like eBay in that sort of sense, you know. I think I would enjoy the whole thrill of the chase of eBay if, one, I had anything to sell, and two, if there wasn't the risk of losing everything. I'm gonna say everything.
Being resurrected.
It's my friend.
A crippling jagged edge. Really good.
That's what she said. So yeah, I mean, I wish there was more to say about this game, but there really isn't. It's just numbers. I mean, It's very hard to distinguish between dungeon crawlers. You know, one's very much like the other. I kind of wish that I didn't pay for it now, because there's a lot out there which look very similar, and have more options that are free. I mean, I think we've actually skipped through, in a way, we have skipped quite a few of the functions. Hello, it's me, your main host for today. Now, due to some technical difficulties and problems, the following minute or audio quality was absolutely atrocious. So I thought it'd be better if I just removed it altogether and gave you a brief audio description of what we discussed. Now, it isn't as much. We were mostly talking about the different skills. Now, as you can see at the bottom of the screen, you get a skill for your left and right mouse buttons, and some primary skills, and then you get a following sort of 3 on the number keys. Now, personally, I found this a bit disappointing. You get a lot more skills in Diablo 1 and 2, and I like to have a nice menagerie of different skills. I like to be able to change my mind and try different things whenever I get bored, where in this case you have only a handful of different skills, and you can change them and manipulate them slightly using different tones, I think they're called. There's also a little bit of a discussion about the concept of naked skydiving and the sound that it might make. That's probably the bit you missed the most, and was quite interesting. I don't know how we got that, to be honest with you. But speaking of that, I think here we are, so let's go back to it. Okay, so your score, you gave it a 7, I gave it a 6, which I think could be a little bit more generous than me.
I'm going to attach to the report card for Blizzard a must do better, and a see me after class.
Well, I definitely second that. As certainly a C-. It was a good effort, some good ideas, but stick to your guns. Don't chicken out. You know, it's like Xbox and their whole, you know, oh, going to be online all the time. No, actually, no, we're not. And we're going to do this thing where your connectors on all the time. Spying. No, actually, maybe we're going to turn off every now and again. You know, if you're gonna do something, stick to your laws. You can get a lot more respect for it.
Yeah, exactly. And politicians take note.
Yes. Will they ever?
Yeah, I mean, Hitler, okay, I know every conversation dies the moment his name is mentioned, but he stuck to his guns.
Yeah, he was. Big guns, and lots of guns.
Yeah, and he has earned not necessarily respect, but infamy. Tony Blair, he stuck to his guns, not politically, but selling out.
He did
he's certainly accrued something. He gets £1 million a time to speak for people after dinner. So,
well, I will rant after dinner every day for free. So, but no, thank you. I know you've been particularly busy today, so it is a very short episode today. But we wanted to make sure that something came out to keep my run. I think we're on episode 14 now, so we've breached through that halfway mark.
I must say, I am incredibly impressed by the number of views you're getting. I've not had a chance to go through the comments yet. Have you had any particularly good ones?
To be honest, I don't tend to get many. I do shout. You know, I don't think. Well, I haven't checked the comments. I don't think we get any comments. I should get an email if we get one. I don't get one of those.
The comments are going to die in public.
No. It's more just the dislikes, really. I think we should stick to those.
I love the fact that you find dislikes exciting because it means someone's actually taking the time to be angry at you.
I like that. Well, this is all about. I hate living in a world where everyone's
nice.
Well, yeah. I think the whole point of the internet is so you can be yourself without many ramifications, as long as it's obviously within the law and isn't completely disrespectful.
Just a large digital beard to hide behind.
Exactly. Oh, the agoraphobia again. No. But so no, I actively encourage it. So yes, I don't want to procrastinate you too much because that's what I usually do if I can get away with this. But I say thank you for joining us. It's a short episode. We will hopefully normal service will be resumed next time. Cause we'll have, I'm sure, a number of topics, and we'll pick a game we can properly. I'm sure we'll get properly emotive, whether it be angry or happy, but something we can really rant about. And I'm sure by then we'll also have some interesting topics of conversation, rather than just saying, well, it's all about numbers and they could do better. Yeah. I think, to be honest with you,
just you wait until I'm out of work. There'll be so much research.
I think the depressing thing is that, we're all like, with this game they could do better, but if we look back, with this cast we could have done better. I think they're just leading by example.
I mean, yeah, okay, we give them a harsh criticism and say you could have done better, but could we have done that?
I think if we weren't so rushed and had more time and were a little bit more organised and actually did some homework and actually cared, rather than both coming off a very long hard day at work and not really giving a shit, I think we could have done better. But that could have been when they made this game. Let's be honest, it wasn't developed for like 20 years, and I think by the end of like, kind of bored now of this. Let's just release it.
It smacks of they did loads and loads and loads of work, scrapped it all, and threw something together.
Yeah, almost like they over-engineered it. Went, it's not going to work, and then they're like, well, their deadline's in like 3 days.
Yeah.
Which
but
is
it's still plays well.
Yeah.
Sell that for it. I mean, when it first came out, there was a few glitches. I had problems loading sometimes.
Yeah, it's just that constant online thing. It's that constant online. But I'm going to keep it in because I really want to rage about that. But I'm going to keep it in. Maybe we should find another game which is online all the time and I can really get properly pissed off about it.
God, I hate games which are supposed to be single player, but you have to be online to play.
I know. It's just I can choose when I want to do these things. Just pack that in. But yeah, we'll find out a game we can properly get angry about that.
Sim fucking City. Now that was one which did it. Oh, EA.
Oh, you know, do you have SimCity?
I've got it somewhere.
The new one.
I'll have to install it. It's not the new one. It is the better one. It's not the old sort of 2D styly graphic-y thingy. The one which everyone complained about and said was broken and the road system didn't work. That's the one I've got.
Ooh. Well, maybe I should try and find a copy of that then. But we'll discuss it off air on those rare occasions where we're not online for the whole world to see.
Stop flashing your junk out the window.
Why it's so breezy. And on that
it's
note,
flapping all the way down the side of the car.
that reminds me of a YouTube video. Oh no, never mind. Right, calm thoughts. So yes, and I think on that note, or on that bombshell, we'll say good night. Thanks again.
And stay lucky.
Good man.
See you later.